pursuing as a collective consciousness, right? So there's multiple consciousnesses out there. There's multiple realities based upon frequency, and that's how, like, remember when you were in high school and everybody was in their little groupie? This is what they're showing me. You have to realize that these things come just in vision, and then they break them down to me for me to break them down to you to allow, thank you, the Holy Spirit to come through. So what they're showing me is like groups, right? So the groups in high school are different groups of realities, okay? And the different groups of reality that you've played into, that now you're seeing on a larger scale of attributes, and you're not aligning with those realities, okay? So the realities that you're not aligning with, so there's a lot of different realities, and when you have the same vision, the same frequency, the same reality, and the same belief systems, okay, or that type of awareness, that's when you get catapulted into the next frequency or the next group or the next dynamic. I hope that makes sense. I was trying to break it down on a high school level all the way up. So when you shift timelines, you're shifting timelines in frequency. So you're shifting to another group of reality because your reality has changed. Now, this could be as simple as a limitation that no longer remains and no longer brings disdain to your vesical frame, is what was just said. So a lot of the reasons that you have changed is because the releasing of traumas, the releasing of thought processes that didn't serve you, the releasing of belief systems that weren't aligned with your highest calling, with where the creator source energy wants for you, but for what you want to. So there had to be a whole shift in perspective of dynamic here with the individual consciousnesses that then collectively on a whole went through. So let's group it out. They're showing me a map inside my head, and they're giving me like, okay, give me a minute. So let's say the overall picture here as from a quantum level of universal energy is where we're speaking of. This is the mindset. Okay, so this is a mindset. So the universe is calling for a mindset to shift, right? Now there's all these different realities. We came to teach, I guess, today. At least that's what we're doing right now. All those different realities, right? So this is this reality, this is this reality, this reality. Everybody then, as an individual within these realities, has their own, thank you, perceptual shift. Okay, so then you've got a whole bunch of little individual people inside these realities, okay? And that on an interpersonal level of how that happens to you in that personal dynamic of that mindset shift or that limiting belief shift, whatever that was showing up for you, you change that, you shift that energy, you alchemize it, you say, no, you know what you don't want, so quit thinking about what you don't want and move towards what you do want. You got 16 seconds to change that thought. So you're sitting here and you go, oh, why does this always happen to me? Well, you got 16 seconds to change that thought, to get out of that energy, to go back into alignment with what God has in store for you, with what you're pursuing. So a lot of you went through a mindset shift change in your own personal little reality here, okay, which are different timelines of realities, all right? So you each had your own individual little shift in this reality, this whatever that is, okay? And then, as a whole, the collective consciousness, bam, shifted. Because each individual shifted, so this reality had to shift. Each individual shifted here, so this reality had to shift. Each individual here, so this reality shifted. So if all those alternate dimensions and realities are shifting to a new perception and our higher conscious awareness, then the overall universal Christ consciousness has to shift too. Make sense? So even though you're in your itty bitty little bitty, thank you, Bumblebee, ant scale, right? You all had your own individual shift. This is why the endings were here. This is why the dynamics were ending, blah, blah, blah. Then you've got all of this, right? So as a collective consciousness, the perception had to shift. Now, where are we going with that? Okay, back on track. Okay, every individual of you had to have this shift of perception, shift of consciousness, so that, hold on, I lost it, so that okay, so basically the overall realities can shift into what they are actually to be. Because if you have alternate realities, because we're creators of the reality, everything that we see here is a projection, right? We've had energies, okay? We've had energies mess with those realities that we've built, okay? And not all of them were good, because they were lower level energies that took over that shift in that reality, in that paradigm, okay? Because of the shifting and the back and forth and whatever else you want to call it, okay? And more is what they're saying. So you've had to be the light to reshift those each individual timelines, to then shift the reality on the mass. This is why they continuously tell you you are the light, you're source energy, you're the birther of light. And with this mindset shift, of course, your gifts are going to be more prevalent, is what they're saying, more apparent. So more of you are getting dreams, more of you are having intuitive awareness, clairaudience. The vision space has heightened, the connectedness to self, connectedness to all things. See, people normally see themselves as separate as nature. The reason why we get you to sit with nature and ground in nature is to see that there is no separation between you and it. You are a part of it. And then you come into the awareness of all the different pieces and parts of you on an interstellar level of awareness here too, that connects back to source energy. You realize that all those pieces and parts are you from different spaces, different timelines, different alternate realities that have been built by you. This is why they say it's an infinite reality, because it is, because we keep building and creating new realities based upon the light that exists. The light that we're moving into is authenticity, love, and truth, in which it was always supposed to be. But those divine prophecies of eternity got ripped out from under thee based upon their lies and their demise and hiding of things in multiple different ways, in multiple different realities, which became your demise, which are now, there's everything that was done to you. You've had to undo, and now you're redoing that. And this is the redo, the rebirth of the collective whole is a consciousness. Now, how that shows up, what is coming? Have I had multiple visions? Have I been told? Yes, in multiple different ways. All right. The birther of light, the birther of light, right? Which is the great awakening. Come the one and come the all. All right. And it's the level of awareness in which the perception is at, in which the people that are on the frequency, in which have the mindset to understand what's catapulting you into the next phase, which is what you guys call here the fifth dimension. It's an awareness. But what this is opening you up to the infinite reality that was always supposed to ensue and pursue, but based upon the level of consciousness that was here in this 3D reality, it was a very low level, dense vibration. We had to infiltrate it from the inside out. Recompensation, reconciliation, repentance are multiple words that are being used here for each and every one of you to help you understand. I have seen it in multiple times and in multiple ways. When this birther of light comes back, when the great awakening, when the shift in reality actually happens, nobody knows exactly when. That's all in divine timing. And I'm telling you, for the past 3 days, they have said, let the games begin. All right. when this has happened, multiple things have been shown to me. And with the power of discernment and the understanding here, I do know that the great shift in reality is where there are going to be multiple people that are lying asleep. They're lying down and they're asleep. We're gonna say they're lying down and they're asleep. Okay? That's what we're gonna call it. Then there's other people, and there was no grouping, there was no circle, there was no whatever, okay? Everybody was in white robes, all right? And they were sitting in meditation. They were just in mindfulness and in presenceness, and then they were in meditation, okay? There were others then that were up walking around in states of euphoria. Didn't get any much explanation except for that's part of the shift. There's been multiple visions that I've had over many, many years, and some of them I have shared in many different ways, in multiple different understandings, in all the different plays. And so this is where also Yeshua showed up with a brand new baby in its arms. And when Yeshua showed up with the baby in its arms, it had a flag around the baby, and the baby was wrapped in the American flag. And it said Birth of America, January 2025. So I can only imagine that those two things are in hindsight 2020. How you see that perception, okay? This is why they continuously pump fear like an IV, because you shift the reality. You shift the mindset based upon your level of presence, your level of frequency of love, your level of frequency of awareness of self, okay? That's what shifts this reality into the next existence, is your frequency. You're the battery. They've used your battery, your energy against you for a very long time. And this has always been the demons upon your mind that literally tried to take your life in multiple ways because your soul was the prize. So the only way they can infiltrate you in that way is infiltrating you through a space of the mind. All right? We're going to move that. So they use your mind against you, right? And it's not just your mind. All right? They use a lot of different other things too. It's just that those things get through to your mind. So there's multiple different spirits, multiple different temptations, multiple different energies of the, temptation, shame, guilt, the spirit of all of that. They use that energy against you so that you don't shift your mindset. That's why we say you got 16 seconds. And what the collective has gone through is what they show me is the Queen of Cups energy. So what this means is the good side of the Queen of Cups is she's using her intuitive awareness, and she's intuitive and she's open, and she's using her emotions and her devotion to herself and her love to herself and her devotion to spirit, right? And she's in frequently flow, like they said, frequent flyer miles, right? And they said frequent flyer miles. Well, I said frequency flow, and they're in flow of the universe, okay? But what's happened here is there was a shift in perspective a long time ago that shifted things into a time frame of victimization. And so the Queen of Cups is thinking that everything is against you, everything is for you, everything has to do with you. And what we mean by this when we say this in this reality is when you have a problem, or when you sit there and go, oh, why does Karen get that and not me? And why did that happen to Josie? I'll tell you why. It didn't happen to me because this happened to me, and then this obstacle happened, and then this bullshit happened, and you pull yourself farther away from the truth and the love and the abundance of what source energy is. You are pulling yourself further away from Christ consciousness, from the higher self, is what you call it. When you do that, you're in the victimization mentality. So every single one of you on an individual level in your reality, which is the timelines of reality, okay? Everybody has a different reality. Everybody's in a different reality because we've all painted these different realities, and it's based upon your beliefs and your frequency of what reality you're in. Every single person has a shift in mindset. Parallelogram is what they said, a parallelogram. So everybody has had a shift on an interdependent level of a mindset. Now then this schemata, this realm as a whole has to shift. So if this realm as a whole has to shift, this one does, because it's doing the same thing. This one does, this one does, this one does. So then the collective consciousness as a whole, unconscious and conscious, go through a shift. That's the shift of the Great Awakening, and it's been going on, but we're talking about the shift, right? In reality. Now, you all feel this pull, you all feel this excitement, you all know that things are transitioning, but in these things, this is why they happen collectively. So you've all had a shift in awareness on an interdependent level. The miracle is the perception change. The miracle is the perception change. Miracle after miracle comes my way. Miracle after miracle follows me every day. My miracles come to me in the most wonderful ways. Because the miracle is the perception shift. So you have the awareness of the limiting belief, or the role you were playing into, or the frequency that doesn't align with you anymore because your vessel, spirit, Holy Spirit, creator, source, your guides, whatever you want to call it, have sat here and said, we don't like this anymore. Bye. See ya. So then you go, I don't like that person anymore. I don't like their vibe. This is why sometimes you go quiet and you pull apart, because that introspection space that you've been on through this shift from the full moon to this new moon, okay, has been huge in the collective with these shifts. Now, they call this the black moon in Capricorn. I know for those of you that aren't familiar with my website, please check it out. The link is in the bio. It's 4cornershealing37, okay, and .com. And you can go check out the blog about the new moon and how it's going to affect you and herbs that will support you. Every month I write a blog, okay, about either the new moon or the full moon, but we're on a time schedule now, so it's going to be new moon and full moon every month. So go check that out, all right? It's free, all right? Go check that blog out. See how it can help you, how you can work with those energies to take this pivotal shift into the Capricorn energy. See where your intention should be, right? Based upon your own individual reality, to give you the shift and boost in confidence and consciousness in your reality to help you shift your awareness, okay? So the whole mindset shift, thank you so much, Carly. The whole mindset shift as a whole has changed. Now, how it's changed for you is because you've let go of people, you've let go of things. Things are those limiting beliefs. Things are going, well, shit, I used to think that, but now I believe this. Or I used to believe that, but now I'm learning this. Now I see this in a different way. That's the shift in the reality, okay? That's the game that is played. And when you learn how to play the game strategically, you only came here to master yourself. That's the magician. That's the alchemizing energy. That's the hermit going up to the mountain and learning the wisdom and then coming back down and sharing it in that reality, right? So it's a whole shift from the collective consciousness, all right? Oh boy, they're getting hot now. They're getting warmed up now. Hoo-wee. All right, so here we go. So as you shift in this new reality, all right, what you're going to do is closer in alignment to your destiny. Hold on. I don't even know if it's in here. I don't think it's in here anymore. Maybe it is. No, hold on. Hold on. There's one of them. We're gonna go. They're taking me back. They take me back to messages. Okay, here we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're going back to the first one. I just had, like, these things just fly in and I just ran them down on random pieces of paper. All right. This next season is all about freedom. The path you choose finally chooses you. Puzzle pieces fitting together. Nothing left will be unused, mistreated, or abused. Welcome to the holy sanctuary, the new you. I'm telling you that it always comes out in the story when I go back and look. So that was the first one that I got. This is the second one. My life was not equal. That's because I was the leader of my own sequel. I was always different than other people. The devil even wanted to be my equal. Recorded. Something was recorded. And everything's always recorded on an Akashic scale, right? So everything's always recorded on an Akashic scale is what they were taking me to on a universal scale. Not the Akashic scale, on the universal scale, right? The Hall of Records, right? And then it's done independently on the Akashic records, all right? So recorded. Abundance and the glory received is a recorded testament to your good deeds. Do not waste them or approach them with haste. It will become a waste. Your mindset and the way you have begun to work with the universe. Something you thought was taken, you must have been mistaken. Nothing can be taken when divine order is coming through. So for those of you that thought that something was taken from you, I hope you know that that's just a ploy on the mindset, in a sense, for you to jump yourself into a fear paradigm, for you to get wrapped up into something being taken, okay, for that energy to play on your mind, for you to go searching into something, trying to figure out, well, how was my destiny taken? Why was there a destiny swap? Who would do that for me? And then you project and you assume upon something, okay? Because nobody can destiny swap with you in your reality. It's God-given. It's in your contract, okay? So then a whole bunch of you got wrapped up into the mindset of my contract was taken, this was taken, this was taken. Well, guess what? That was a ploy from the devil. On your mindset, the devil 1111, the devil, the doppelganger, right? In energy was playing against you. So you got brought into that prophecy and that reality. Until you realized, wait a minute, nothing can be taken from me. It's my God-given right. Why? Because it's my energy. My energy is my inner God. My inner God is source energy in which I came from to this reality. Okay, to remove a million different intrusions, not just intrusions upon your own illusions, but intrusions upon the illusions as a whole is what they're saying, okay? We'll share that later. That's not to be shared right now. All right, I had to get discernment. All right, so that's what everything is switching to, and you wonder why all this abundance and why all this open upness and all these things are coming to you. It's because of the work, the work you have to. Yeah, okay, I got you. In the Bible, they relate this to salvation. Okay, so you have to understand that I'm here to bridge the words and the frequencies for everybody to understand. Most of you call this trauma healing. Most of you call this your healing journey, okay, where you are given, you forgive, but you learn forgiveness, okay? So you had to forgive yourself, okay, but you had to forgive others too in order for you to rise into Christ consciousness. This is what the Christians and in religion say is salvation. You've been given salvation because you've been able to rise to the awareness, okay, of Christ consciousness. Now, you have to understand that there's been a lot of words and a lot of frequencies that have been changed in holy matrimony, is what Spirit's saying, to change the vibe of what they mean, to bring disdain so that there causes nothing but infliction, pain, and separation, okay? And so we're not here to cause pain and infliction and separation. We're here to cause understanding. And this is part of the seventh fire prophecy, where you bridge all gaps and all understandings back to the level of one, which it came from. So when I use certain words, understand I'm helping your ego break down the feeling of the disdain of what is said and feel into the vibe. That's the awareness of God inside. And so what we're doing is we're breaking down the limitations of stagnation within your vesicle, so that you can rise to your occasion, your destiny, the things that you always were, but pulled away from in your reality because of your circumstances, but other circumstances too. This is the shift in the reality, is that nothing and no one has power over you, not even source energy, but you. That's powerful as fuck. As a collective consciousness. You are your awareness. You have to break free of the mindset and the imprisonment, the shackles, the limitations. You know, when they talk in the Bible, about, the Israelites being under succumbing and being in slavery and being in torture, it's because their own words cursed themselves. What do you think's been done here? Words. We've cursed ourselves. We have broken free of the limitations of the old prophecy. This is the 400-year curse being lifted from the Israelites and all 13 tribes. Don't let them fool you. There's 13 tribes, just like there's 13 planets, just like the 13 divine feminine creation, okay? Your vesicle was never meant to be a way station, which means this: you were never put here just to process energy and get overwhelmed and get anxiety and have all these fucked up thoughts and limitations. It's what happened in this reality based upon the lower level dimensions that were here, shifting things in multiple different ways. We'll just say that. That's the game that's played, and you've had to play the game strategically to remember your name from which you came. But remember, the enemies of disdain already knew your name when you came here to do your prophecy, because you knew this was your last time, right? How many of you sat here and been like, I ain't fucking coming back, this is my last time? This is why you're called the sages, because the sages tap into the truth of reality of not what ought to be, but what is in fluidicity. The all, the one, the creation. You were never meant to be a way station so that they could use your energy, your source, your God-given energy of creation against you to hold you down, so that you wouldn't rise to the occasion of what your destiny was to pursue in this reality. That's what happened. That's why you had to undo all the trauma. That's the Dante's Inferno, the lower level chakra systems of each chakra. Because each chakra vortex has 3 different basically levels to it. You are in the frequency of the lower vibration of that chakra. And then when that thing busts wide open, you come out of that frequency, you're over. And then you're like, whoa, everything's for me. Woohoo. Life is awesome. And you come back into balance, because you only can know balance by going to both that exist. So you come from the darkness, because what is light? Light is truth. Light penetrates the darkness. Therefore, the darkness can no longer exist, which was inside of you. So when God sat you all down, source energy sat you all down, creator sat you all down, it was profound. Thank you for whoever's saying this is profound. So in that reality, you got sat down. And what'd you have to do? Sit with yourself. And what'd you have to do? Come to terms with the hand that you've been dealt. But you didn't understand why those things happened to you in hindsight 2020 until you started to learn that you were the creator of your own reality. And you were taught lessons, as everyone says, but those are your blessings, because they're moving you into alignment of what was naturally innate for you and what cycle you have to come out of to get to. So that's the level of Christ consciousness, the level of awareness, the new birth of you that's coming into this existence here to shift the whole entire mindset of the reality here, the frequency coming through. So that's the divine prophecy that you're a part of, that you came back here. So you were never meant to be a way station and be used against you. You had to break yourself free from those things that you speak. And one of the messages that has come through 110% is watch your weight in words this year, because it will become your weight. Watch your weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, how you oppress yourself, how you oppress others, the words that you speak. That's coming out of that Queen of Cups, victimization, everything's for me, everything's about me mentality, and using that level of discernment, of observation, going, hold on, I don't have to react just yet. I'm going to sit here and see and watch what this is and use my level of discernment, my God-given gift, to see what it really is, and ask the Holy Spirit, your spiritual team, interstellar beings, angels, God, source energy, to show me what it really means to me in this reality. So a lot of you were nostalgic and naive and just believed everything. But then you had to come back to self and pull out of those things so that you could see what it meant for you in the truest of reality of your destiny. And that's part where a lot of you have shifted into. Now you're going, okay. Now I know why. Now I get it. Now I'm supposed to do that. You are correct, Charlotte. The kiss of life or the kiss of death. And that came out in the last live on Friday. But the kiss of life or the kiss of death, you're true. It completely exists. And it's all unbeknownst to you of what you choose, what energy you choose. And this is the old native prophecy that we speak of which coyote will you feed? The wolf, right? Which coyote will you feed? The wolf or the coyote? And that's what we talk about. It's even Nako, Medicine Bear, his song, It Is What It Is, relates to the coyote and the wolf prophecy of the Cherokee prophecy. Now, I'm 1/4 Hopi, 1/4 Lakota, so I'm not Cherokee. But we all know that prophecy, and which one are you going to feed? Which wolf are you going to feed, right? The good wolf or the bad wolf? And in that moment of 16 seconds, you have that alternate reality to shift and not play into the thought. So remember, we always say that the thought is rubber banded by the emotion. So when you have a thought, okay, it doesn't mean you have to feed into it with another thought. It's a vibration of a thought. But when you give that thought another thought that is a lower level vibration or of more lower level vibration, and you give it that emotion, that's when you get into stagnation. If you have the thought, you're going to have thoughts. Okay, you're gonna hear fucked up shit. You're gonna hear monitoring spirits. This is why you have to have the level of discernment to know what is you or what's outside of you, and what is the level of the devil or the spirit showing up for you, or the monitoring spirit that's playing through other people that has eyes on you. Okay, you have to have the level of discernment. You earned it. You learned it for a reason, so that nothing more could cause you treason, is what they just said to me. Okay? Holy matrimony, where two become one, the one become the sum. See, when you ask for something, it will be given, but you're so impatient, you miss the signs of seeing it in observation, because you're going, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What do I have to do? Why am I like this? I don't understand. What's going on? That's the devil fucking with you once again. Because it's getting you wrapped up out of presence to see the opportunity and the blessing that is being brought to you by spirit, and brought to you by God, brought to you by the universe, brought to you by source, your angels. Okay? It all exists. You're all a part of it. It's all been a part of you. All those pieces that you speak to and that you talk to, you get to the level of awareness that they are you. They're another piece of you that is you, in an alternate reality and dimension, a higher level plane. And it all intertwines back to source energy. Thank you. See, even when there is no change in your physical reality, there's change. There's always change energetically. There's nothing but change. But you have to choose the change that you want to be in the alternate reality that you wish to perceive, to align yourself with, to be in holy matrimony. Thank you. To be in that new timeline shift. This is why they want you quiet. This is why they want you not around anybody, so that you're not in that level of existence there. Okay? All right. Yeah. For those of you that would like a personal energy exchange, okay? Thank you. Thank you. The level of energy exchange is up to you, all right? And what it is to you, and how and what you need that comes through. I'll be here for a little bit, but I'll be on later on tonight. And we'll jump back in and dive back in. All right. So I've got a few open spots if anybody would like to do that space and jump in and see exactly what it is, what healing needs to take place. I've got somebody that would like, they put in here in the notes, they would like an energy healing here. Okay, so yeah, the sickness. Okay. So anyway, long story short, I already picked up on that. All right, so you've got this going on here in the sinus cavity, and I feel there's this back here. So that's where a lot of the tension is here. Okay. For you, fire salamander, and this is what is coming through at this moment. So there's an oppression that is upon you, but the oppression that's upon you is coming like through this burst. Okay, so this cold that you're going through right now, it's physical because of the awareness of the emotion and the integration in which you have received that's catapulting you. What they showed me is a seed going pop. Now, I will help energetically clear that space, no problem. But this is why it's going off. It's an alarm that's going off. And the alarm that's going off is going, okay, why am I feeling this way? Other than the fact is that, yeah, okay, I got a cold, right? But it's coming from a level of ascension because your emotional process that you've been through of whatever you've experienced that you've released recently, the limitations, the beliefs, okay, the hindering lower level vibrations of energy that you're moving through, all right? Those things, you are ridding yourself of those emotions and those thought processes. So your body then on a physical layer as a wholeness, of course, is going through that, okay? They said demon slayer. All right, they just said demon slayer. So take a rest, yeah, and take a breath too. You're coming into a whole new heightened sense and a whole new level of awareness that exists for you. This is not with the seeing of ability, but this is more about the internal you that's coming through. More of an understanding of the whole self. Now what they're showing me here, for whatever reason, between the sight and the clairaudience, they were severed, which also tells me too that the mindset, the throat, and the heart were not connected fully through and through. This transgression that you've gone through recently, this is the body level of awareness here that is moving through, thank you, okay, that is pushing through in your physical body to align these things. The throat oversees the clairaudience. The third eye, not only your foresight, okay, it's the third eye is just not your foresight, which is your knowing. You just know. You don't know how you know, but you just know. That's the foresight. That's there. But inside the third eye on the projection screen, there was a mismatch of energy between what was being felt, heard, and seen. It comes from the heart, the throat, and the third eye. That is what's being put into alignment right now, by and by, is what they said. More so of it on the left side up in the back. Okay, now I know the retract. Okay, this is pressure. Okay, you're going to start and receive more pressure and more messages here in the left ear rather than the right. This is because this is a higher frequency of your sight. So it's going to come more through clairaudient and on your temple side. This is why this is more messed up on the left side. Those things are coming into a balance, which does exist for you. Pulled it up and out. Yeah, can you do that? Thank you. So breathe. There's a resistance to the connection, and it doesn't have to do with, it's not anything that you're doing. Give me a minute here to figure out what that means. A resistance to the connection of what she's seeing. No. Within her being. Okay. Can I connect them? Or is this something she has to do? I can connect it through. Okay, cool. So when I do this, this will be the relief and the headache here. I'm going to connect. This is weird. They're using the meridian lines. They're like, we're going to connect C34. Don't ask. Cerebellum. Okay. We're going to connect the cerebellum here. So give me a minute. Yeah, it'll make things more clear. So like, they're showing me that in your picture perfect personification in your head, the visions that you were getting would be sporadic and fragmented, okay? And so now we're going to connect these two, all right, levels here, and this cord will now be attached between head and throat, at least third eye and throat, okay, for the clairaudience to come through. It will relieve the sinuses too, so you're going to go through a lot of sinus drainage here as we move through this layer. Now, also, they want you to know that obviously you're going to be coughing up a lot of stuff because it's going to be phlegm in the back of your throat. All right, so you know obviously what to do with that. Take care of that. Take care of yourself through this time. Around the back, okay. Intact, thank you. And thank you. All right, out, yeah. And around the back, thank you. And down. Thank you. I don't know why, but they wanted me to take that energy through the front of your vortex, okay? And then back up over your head and back into your own energy, all right? You can clear your own auric field. You know what to do with that. I'm not going to do that for you, but the connection here between the cerebellum and the clairaudience now, whatever that is with the throat space, because we all know that the throat runs the clairaudience. So if your throat chakra and expression is closed off, you're not going to have the clear channel of clairaudience that you thought, all right? Interjection. So, okay, give me a minute. They said interjection. So we already know who's interjecting. All right, sir, here we go. What is it? The Ace of Cups. So that's the heart exploding. That's the openness of the transition now too. Because as we get this and this into alignment and you push through the last little bit of emotion that you're moving through, of course, the Ace of Cups is going to come out with the heart-centeredness, the heart openness to trust more. Like, this is all about trusting more in your own sacred divinity here. Okay? And this is also coming from a very humbling respect, because it's almost as if you're kind of like getting leveled up as you're getting humbled down. Best way I can say that, okay? Like, you're getting humbled up as you can get humbled down. Yeah, the Eight of Wands. So you're transgressing through this very quickly. I do see this completely being over for you in the next 48 hours. Tomorrow is going to be such a relief for you, but there's going to be a good riddance, okay, in the next 48 hours for you is what they said. Look, the Hierophant just comes out. So that also relates back to what they're showing me of you doing what it is that feeds your vibration, no matter what it is that you hear outside of you. That's part of the monitoring space, because you're getting a lot of frequencies and a lot of noise. It's like a radio just full of, I mean, I'm hearing 8 to 10 different channels, bro. And not all those channels are for you. Some of those channels have to do with the spiritual beings that are around alternate people that you're around too. So it's not always that you're hearing anybody from your team or whatever that is. You're hearing multiple people's shit, multiple people. So like if you're around people that have monitoring spirits, you're going to hear it. And so a lot of that cloudedness is why you needed to get separated to understand what it is that is you, and trusting more of your own embodiment and what you're being pushed to do, rather than hearing anybody else or allowing anything to interject upon you or your vessel anymore, so you can move and leave this path that you're to lead and go on this adventure here. This is also tearing down these beliefs. We have to remember that the Hierophant comes from a very spiritual space. They've really always been very intuitive and connected to spirit, but at the same time, the beliefs maybe have kept them in one way or the other. So they're moving on to the next phase of events here in their reality to dismantle those belief systems in order to push them into the forward openness of their truest to destiny. What's on the bottom of the deck? Look, what did I just say about your truest to destiny, bro? You cannot make that up. The Wheel of Fortune is on the bottom. This is you turning the karmic wheel. The Two of Wands, you making a career deal. So this is your level of commitment, your level of trust, your level in discernment of your empowerment that is a must, is what they're saying. Like, whatever this is that you're on the path to do, it's something that's leading to you, but you're leading it through. All right, the Two of Wands, the karmic wheel. It's fortune for you. All right, absolutely fortune. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Listen, I've got a huge sale going on right now in the background. So if any of would you like to jump into a personal space with me? Okay, there's two different coupon codes. There's one that says new you, all right, and it's spelled out capital N-E-W and then capital Y-O-W. And that one is 33. That one is for products. Okay, so if you guys want one of the new cool Zodiac hoodies, I don't have mine up here, but if you guys want one of the cool new Zodiac hoodies, okay, or anything like that, it goes on all the products, all right? And that's 15% off any of that space right now, all through the week, all right? Then you also can do new you 25, and that will get you 15% off any service. So if you need a healing service, if you want to go back into the Akash and heal processes, things of trauma, if you want to know more pieces, if you want to go into a shamanic journey with me, I mean, there are so many levels of spaces. If you want to learn, I've broken down the shamanic module and I've broken down the into spiritual journey module, and they're all individual classes. So you can take what you need, you can pickpocket, all right? It's all built for you to build your own program, basically, upon to, with a lot of diagrams, with a lot of paperwork. So, and you get to hang out with me and have me in your back pocket for those weeks. I mean, who wouldn't want that anyway, right? So take care of yourselves and each other, guys. All right, if you need anything, you can reach out to me on the website. That link is in the bio. All right, you can reach me through Linktree or directly through the website. All right, till we meet again, guys. And don't forget to check out those elemental reads this week on YouTube as well. All right, mwah.